had a pretty exciting morning. I took my truck to the gas station for the first time. I fueled up on propane at Super Save, and it turns out I have a pretty big propane tank. The attendant thought it's maybe 250 liters, so we were filling it up, and it's like, wow, that's a lot of propane. So I just filled up 100 liters, and it's just like, I don't know, $84 or something. It's like 69 cents a liter. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of mileage I get with that. And then I checked my tires, adjusted my tire pressure, and now I'm at Home Depot, and I'm going to change my oil. Never done an oil change before. That's the SkyTrain going by. It's kind of noisy. So I'm going to do an oil change. Hopefully that won't be an issue here. I don't think it will. It doesn't take too long to do an oil change. And then I'll feel pretty good. I also want to change the transmission fluid sooner rather than later, but I don't know if I'll do that while I'm in town. I'm heading out for my first road trip in a few days, going to Vancouver Island to house it for my parents and work on my truck, which is still way not done. So I just want to get it ready for the road. It's going to be a longish, kind of grueling ride. So I was just waiting for my truck to cool down a little bit before doing the oil change, but it's probably about good right now. So I'm going to get all my tools and equipment out and get started. Right. So I'm under the front of my truck. There's the oil pan and the oil drain plug. This is the pan I'm going to drain things into. I put a garbage bag over it because I'm going to reuse it, and so it won't get quite as messy with the garbage bag. And then I put some cardboard underneath just in case I drip onto the ground. I don't want to get oil on this parking lot. So the truck should still be a little warm now. I'm going to carefully, slowly unscrew that drain plug. Okay, that was easier than I thought it would be, and I didn't make a mess. So the last of the oil is draining out here. Pretty much all went in the pan, just a few little splashes. So I'll wait for that to totally drain out, and then I'm going to wipe around the drain hole, the clean rag. I'm going to securely put the drain bolt back in, and then I'll change the oil filter. Okay. Alright. So, I got it all drained, nice and tidy. Got the bolt back in, didn't tighten it, did it snug, but not too tight. And what I'll do is I'll keep my eye on it after I start driving and just make sure there's no leaks and it's in there firmly. I check the threads, I check there's like a gasket and a washer on the bolt, and everything looked really good. So that part is done. And what I also did while the oil pan was draining is I opened the cap on the oil filler tube, because some people say that will help more of the oil drain, so there's not a vacuum inside. So now I have to change the oil filter, which is just right up here. It's really close. I don't know if you can see it. It's that orange thing behind. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, this is maybe a better angle. Here, it's that orange thing. I think it's kind of dark in there, but... So now I have to take this off, and I know some oil will probably spill out as I do that. So I might puncture, I'll put the drain pan underneath, and I might puncture a hole in it first just to get a bit of a controlled drain going on before I take it off. Oh, here it is. So I have, excuse me. heck of a time getting the old oil filter off, and I'm really glad I bought this. It's an oil filter wrench. I almost gave up, but I kept trying, and it just came off very, very gradually, and then it was no problem. The oil didn't even spill that much from the oil filter. It's just kind of hanging there. I'm letting it drip out a bit. So now I'm gonna put in the new oil filter. Old one, I know I can recycle the old oil at Canadian Tire, so hopefully I can also recycle this old oil filter there too. Just gonna give a wipe around the opening that it fits onto. And the threads look really good, so that's good news. So before I put the new filter on, I'm supposed to just apply some oil around the gasket here, just so there's a nice seal. Alrighty. I got my oil and oil filter at Vancouver Auto Parts on Commercial Drive. I know I could have gone to Canadian Tire and maybe gotten like something for less expensive. I'm not really sure, but I kind of wanted to go to an independent store for my first time, to make sure that that's fine. To make sure that I really got the right thing, because you know, sometimes at Canadian Tire, I know a lot of people working there know what they're doing, but there's also some young people there who aren't so knowledgeable. Which I'm just gonna. Oh, you know what I heard too is that sometimes you can. I didn't really buy the right thing for this, but you can actually pour some oil into the filter. Soak it, like to saturate it before you put it on, but I guess I could try that. Might be a little messy. You can get some oil drain pans that sort of like are set up for that. I'm sure how much to put in there. To put it back on, you're just supposed to hand tighten it, and I read in one manual to just tighten it till it's snug and then do a 3/4 turn. A nice thing about this truck is that I can get underneath it, the whole thing, without having to jack it up at all. Although apparently you can do oil changes in your car just by reaching under it a lot of the time. Now I gotta put oil back in my truck before I start it up again. And I don't know, I couldn't find out exactly how much. The best sounding kind of estimate I got was 6 liters, so this is 5, so I'm gonna put this in. And then run it and see what the oil pressure gauge looks like. Well, kudos to Home Depot. It seems you can just, you know, I see other trucks just kind of pull up, and I don't know what they're doing, but this is perfect. There's lots of space. Nobody's bothering me. I'm not bothering anybody. Just do this. So they gave me 10W30, which I think it's a slightly thicker engine oil for older vehicles. Let's get a new oil filler pretty well, I have to say. So I'll just use this bag to inside out this bag and use to put my garbage in. Here's my oil pan, still nice and clean. Garbage. Alright, so I ran my engine for a bit, let it cool down, checked the oil, and it's like right between the full and add mark. So it's good right now. I'll keep my eye on it after I've driven my truck a little bit, and I'll keep like an extra liter in the truck, and because I still think, well, maybe the filter might soak up a bit more oil. Also, I noticed some oil on the ground beneath my oil filter under the truck, and I don't know, that might have just been the old oil dripping off the frame, or it might have been the filter just settling into place, because it's tight, like it's on there. So I'll keep my eye on that. Meantime, note to self, get a new oil filler cap, or try and fix the old one. Thanks for listening and watching.